guys, it's Apache here, bringing you guys the next episode of RuneScape Randomized, the series where we always progress through randomized tasks that we get. In the last episode, we completed the Firminic Trials and ended up getting this here clue step, master clue step, should I say, that required us to do Desert Treasure, so that's going to be our goals for this episode. So we decided to go over to Ogress Warriors and AFK for a bit. Remember that word AFK for some magic levels and some alcohols so I could make some money because I was running low on cash. As you can see here, I'm just selling some stuff off to the blast furnace because I couldn't actually alch anything yet. And then this happened. So I was AFK watching some Netflix and not paying attention to my screen. I thought I was in the safe spot from this Ogress Warrior, but it turns out I was not. And yeah, it's not looking too good. I actually realized at the last second and ended up dying, losing the hardcore status. And safe to say, I just stood in Lumbridge Castle for a while, really confused on what to do. But this hardcore was never the focus of my series, so I'm gonna continue with the account. And yeah, it doesn't really bother me that much. It actually kind of gives like a bunch of pressure off my back. But safe to say, I was pretty mad about it at the time. I actually like slammed my keyboard and stuff, but I muted my mic right away because I was raging. I wish I hadn't. And so we returned to the Ogress Warriors to get some revenge and ended up getting up to 59 magic so we could have enough magic levels to get Desert Treasure done. And on the way we ended up getting this right here, which is actually pretty crazy, the Shaman Mask, which is like 1 in a few thousand. So it doesn't really do anything, but it's cool for the collection log. Just thought I'd include it because it's really rare. And yeah, so here's our loot from all the Ogress Warriors. See all those arrows. At the end, we started picking up the big bones a lot more because we realized that we needed to get 43 prayer to do this. And so I started picking those up towards the end, but it ended up getting us right around 200k cash, as you can see there, so that was really nice. We then headed over to Draenor Village, chopped ourselves some willow logs to get, like, I believe it was like 925 willow logs because 50 fire making was a requirement for Desert Treasure, so we went ahead and banked that. Then headed over to the old sand crabs to get ourselves 50 defense so we get some combat levels up, as well as 40 range with our close-up on our studded body there and studded legs. And then we burned all our willow logs we had banked earlier to get 50 fire making, so that was one of the requirements for Desert Treasure out of the way. Then another requirement was to get 53 thieving, so we went over to the Hosidius fruit stalls and stole a bunch of fruit for a long time to get that, which was really nice. And after that we decided to use the bones we had collected from the Ogress Warriors, which got us up to 35 prayer, so that was pretty cool. We could go out in the Chaos Altar now because we had nothing to lose because we weren't a HardCore IronMan anymore. Then headed over to Hill Giants because I needed some more bones as well as some Limport roots, so figured it was the best place to go. Got 44 range right there and 43 prayer over at the reanimation altar in Corinth. So that was pretty cool. And we actually had a lot to spare too. Next thing we needed a U short bow. And I could have got the fletching level, but I realized that these guys over here in the waterfall dungeon ancient caverns actually dropped them. So I went and got one of those from an enraged barbarian spirit, as well as like 4 more of them, as you can see in the inventory, because I thought for some reason I needed mithril grapples, and they also dropped mithril grapples. So I stayed around until I got those, but I don't actually need those, so I just kind of wasted my time. But I got a bunch of spare ones. Then we needed 10 Slayers, so we went over and picked up our first task from Vanica, which ended up being Hill Giants, so that was pretty cool. And here is our 10 Slayer. It was really fast. I think we only killed like a few of them, maybe like 4 or 5 of them. Next thing we did was a Druidic Ritual, so we get our, which is a requirement for Desert Treasure, as well as get access to the Herbalist skill, so that's pretty cool. And then Waterfall quests. These are all quests that I should have done off the start, which is awesome to get them done now because they're still somewhat viable. Got me 44 strength and 43 attack. That's pretty cool. Next thing we finished up was the Tourist Trap and got some smithing levels up to 30 smithing. So that was really helpful too because we're going to have train smithing later on. No spoilers or anything. Then we did Temple of Ikov and got 46 range. We were basically just, and 27 fletching. We were basically just trying to knock out a bunch of the requirements for it. Got 10 herblore here, just making some anti-poisons it looks like. And the dig site completed, which got us up to 35 mining and 17 herblore. So that was a big jump from 10, which was nice. And then while we were woodcutting, we got this here hard clue scroll. And it required us to go to Tyrus Camp. And to get to Tyrus Camp, which is over like near it's like in the Elf lands, to get there we had to do Regicide. So that was our next objective, was to get Regicide done. And in order to do Regicide, we had to do Agility up to 56. And while we were doing Agility from a random event, we actually ended up getting this here medium clue scroll. So we decided to go do that. And it gave us a step requiring green d'hide chaps. So we went over here to these archers in Burthorpe and killed them until we got green d'hide chaps, which really didn't take long at all. It was only like killed a few of them. So that's pretty cool because that's actually best in slot range right now. And it didn't really give us much of anything. It doesn't look like, yeah, no. Didn't give us much of anything. So we returned to training Agility and finished up at the Verot course, and we had enough graceful pieces to buy a piece of graceful, or marks of grace, so we bought some graceful gloves, and then headed over to Canifis until 50 Agility, as you can see here. And I could have stayed at Canifis because it's better marks of grace, but I wanted the XP, so I went over to Falador after this. But I had enough marks of grace to pick up another piece of graceful, so we got ourselves a graceful cape, so we now have 2 pieces of graceful. And then finished up over at Falador to get 56 Agility, which was a requirement for Regicide, and as well as 70 marks of grace. So yeah, so we went ahead and picked up another piece of graceful with the legs. So we only have like 2 or 3 more pieces to get, so that's really awesome. There's our full graceful so far. It's nice to have for when we're questing and stuff. Next thing we did was we went into a sewer and finished a COVID-19 quest. And yeah, so that was Plague City completed, and we got 36 mining, as well as Biohazard. And I was actually doing the same quest line on my main at the same time, so it was like kind of annoying. Underground Pass done as well, so I did it like twice in a row, like within the matter of 2 days. So yeah, and it's a great quest line for any of you guys out there who've done it. Underground Pass completed right there, which got us the Iban stab, which is actually best in slot mage. So yeah, we'll have to get that upgraded as well. And then Regicide done. As you can see, I was very happy with all that mouse movement. Got our next clue scroll step, which was to speak with Elena at the Catherby Fruit Patch. And then we got this one right here that required us to go to Shiloh Village. So that meant that we had to get the Shiloh Village quest done, which luckily I don't think there's any requirements for. Yeah, so we just did Jungle Potion and got ourselves up to 19 Herb Lore. And then just finished up Shiloh Village. And that got us 33 crafting, which is pretty cool. Then we got our next clue scroll step. As you can see, I normally wouldn't update you guys, but I think this is our first hard clue scroll on the account, so it's actually kind of a big deal. And we got this step right here. So I tried to go over there and go in there, but you can't actually go in there. You have to do the Grand Tree first. So I went ahead and did the Grand Tree, and which got us up to 57 agility. So that's another agility level, as well as 46 attack. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, I almost died to the warrior wizard or whatever that spawned there. As you can see, I only had 23 HP. Finished up the hard clue scroll, which is actually pretty cool because it was our first hard clue scroll on the account, like I said. And we just got some alcohols, so that was pretty cool. And a rune axe, which was actually really helpful because we were training woodcutting and couldn't get a rune axe for another few levels until I got into the woodcutting guild, but I didn't have to go there anymore because I had the axe already. Next, we got a medium clue scroll step that required us to have this track Cave of Beasts, and to get that, you had to do the Mountain Daughter quest. So we headed over to Relica and had to do the Mountain Daughter quest, which I hadn't actually done in forever, and yeah, it was like a, I don't know what to say about it really, just another quest. Finished her up, got our medium clue scroll casket. Did we get anything from this? Just some more alcohols and a green d'hide body, so we now have full green d'hide besides for the van braces and gloves, so that's pretty cool. Got another clue scroll step, which required us to go to Crandor Island, so you know what that means. Got to finish up Dragon Slayer, which meant that we had access to rune plate bodies and could actually wear the green d'hide body we just got, so that was pretty cool. 48 strength from that as well as 51 defense. And we got another green d'hide body. It's basically just a bunch of alcohols, which are really helpful because we can always use the alcohols. Picked up 60 wood cutting, chopping down the willows, because we needed to get magic logs. I thought I had everything done, then I forgot that I had to get magic logs, so I had to try to train up to 75 wood cutting as fast as I could. Got ourselves another medium clue scroll from them, and this one actually required Bon Voyage because it was on Fossil Island. And we finished up all the museum kudos because you need 100 museum kudos to do it, and we ended up only having 98. So we had to do another quest to get more points, and I did Hisiel Cult because it's like, I figured it was the most useless one out of all of them, so I finished that one up and got enough kudos to finish up Bon Voyage, which gave us access to Fossil Island, so we now have access to Fossil Island. That's pretty cool. And then we got this clue scroll step that required us to go inside the farming guild. So we started doing some farming runs because I mean, I wish I could train this up fast, but there's really no way for me to do it, so I'm going to actually have to do farming runs over time. But I'm not going to drop the clue scroll step. I'm just going to continue to do farming runs until I get it. There you can see we pick up 65 wood cutting, which is pretty cool. We moved over to teaks, and we were banking them all because we decided that we wanted to just get some like construction XP for later. I went to Wintertide to see if I could get some magic logs as a drop, and because it's based off your like woodcutting level, so I had like 68 woodcutting I think, so I was like, oh, I could probably get winter logs. Magic logs, and as you can see, I picked up 60 fire making over there and got some magic logs, and that was on our 12th kill, so that was pretty awesome. So we didn't have to go all the way to 75. Then we decided we had everything we needed to do for desert treasure, so we killed Camille, which was a pain, and then killed Damus. You guys know the story for the Shadow Diamond, then killed Desis. And then we killed the other one. I didn't record it. I don't even remember what his name was. He's irrelevant. And went over into this hellish pyramid and kept falling to the floor, kept dying, and finished up Desert Treasure. And boy, was I happy. I am so happy about that. It's a great achievement to have on the account. Got a 63 magic as well. So then we got the next step of the clue scroll, but you guys will have to wait till the next episode to see what that is. I'm going to leave it on a little cliffhanger there. But yeah, so I thank you guys so much for watching this series. I'm really enjoying making it, and I hope you guys are enjoying watching it. Without further ado, this is Apache. Subscribe and join the tribe. Tomahawk that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.